Bluntz, coffee, and tea. Your cannabis-infused refuge. Coming through with news from the streets, behind the bars, and entertainment. It's nothing you heard before and everything you wanted. Join Loso and his friends as he stimulates your mind with crazy stories and unpopular opinions. It's like a talk show, except we curse a lot. Y'all ain't ready for a Loso podcast.
What's going on, world? What's going on? How y'all doing out there? It's your boy Cognac Poppy, aka Loso, aka Dolomite, aka I don't know. How you doing today, Nick?
I'm doing all right. I see you got a new AKA. I don't know. Just making this stuff up every day. Aren't you?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm trying to make it up as I go. I'm trying to make it up as I go. One of these names is going to stick. I don't know. Nobody likes none of them.
I'm proud of you though. You came like round 2 with the Cognac Poppy. That one might stick though.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to make that stick, especially since Drake stole Champagne Poppy from me.
Oh, here we go again.
I still am not receiving any royalties from that. I have actual proof that in 2007 I was calling myself that way before. Yes, I have proof. I have old MySpace accounts by the name Champagne Poppy. I was the one. I don't know how he found out about that name and stole it from me, but it is what it is, you know. Speaking of Drake, Nika's gonna have some tea for you guys about that motherfucker. And amongst other things, a lot of the crazy stuff has gone on. It's just me and Nick today. You know, I don't know. The last episode, there was a lot of feedback, and before we get into the new episode, I just wanted to let me bring up my phone here because there was a few things, you know, people had to say, and the things that people had to say was addressed to you, Nick. And
really?
Yeah, and it's all positive stuff, actually. Nothing bad. I couldn't believe that.
It's really right. I was like, oh yeah, let me hear it.
So let's see. I got one here. You know, I didn't ask any of you guys if I could use your names and shit. So I'm not gonna say your names on the actual podcast, but I am gonna read the comments. This one right here says, Neek, it was definitely hold on, because people be writing in this
Ebonics.
Nah, not even Ebonics, in this new code and shit with this FFL and all this other shit. I can't even understand it. But basically, she's saying, wow, I was really impressed that Neek told her story. As a woman, I know it must not be hard. I could definitely resonate with what she was going through, being, you know, someone that had to find out that I myself was a side chick, even though I did not agree upon it, you know. But I really respect how Neek, you know, put her story out there. And then this one is like, wow, I couldn't do what Neek did on the last episode. I really am proud of her, and I hope that women learn from, you know, what she was saying, because it was very deep. And then this one was like, Neek could be my side chick. This is actually a female.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm not even gonna read it after that. After reading that, I'm just like, all right, let me stop. And shit.
Man.
All the ones to me is just like, I ain't shit. I gotta stop talking so much, and
man.
I'm an asshole. But all that is stuff.
Regular shit.
Yeah,
regular
all
shit.
that, you know.
Hashtag regular Loso shit.
I didn't know. Stars in lockup. I don't know what the hell happened with him, or I should say, I do know what happened with him. I just don't want to talk about it. This stuff happens in jail. Jail life. He will be back. He's safe, and he's not hurt. Can't say the same for the other person, but fuck him, right? Sorry, our boy. Don't care what happened to that other motherfucker. But yeah, I miss him. You know, he already contacted me. He's gonna get back on the show as soon as he can.
That's what's up. I was like worried for him calling in, so that's good. And it's good for the listeners to hear that, Star will be back.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll have some tea for us.
Really, I don't give a fuck if he comes back or not at this point. It's ridiculous. I told him his ass to stay out of trouble. Listen.
That's your friend.
Yeah.
He's exactly like you. That's why y'all are friends.
Nobody's exactly like me.
Listen. He don't listen just like you. That's all that needs to be said.
So what else we got to get into before I introduce this episode? Oh, another thank you to everybody, the people that have left reviews and people that have donated. Y'all gotta stop saying, "Oh, this is all I can," but I hope it's something. Listen, it's $1, $2, $5, $20, whatever it is. Like, I know it's real out there. It's real for us. So whatever you can do. The long run is that hopefully that we don't have to do things like this for too long, and that we get to where we need to be with this show. Bluntz 2 was supposed to happen this month. I'm going to push it back, our YouTube channel. I know everybody keeps asking us when we're going to do that, but, all this is still a learning process for me. And on top of that, to do a YouTube channel, I'm really I'm very anal with that type of stuff. I want to try to do it as best as I could possibly can. So I pushed it back for another month just so I can have everything prepared. But don't worry, we're gonna have it. I have guests on the back burner just because there's certain guests I want you guys to see, and so
got
just
some
don't think
stuff in the works.
Yes, trust
stuff
me.
In the works.
There's people dying to come on here to talk shit to me, but I figure I'd rather them wait until we get to the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So you guys can see them. Because y'all don't want to just see my face all the fucking time.
Right, you got to trust the process, y'all. We're so grateful for folks who are donating to the show. It's really helping us out, and we're just going to get things nice and perfected. We want to come to y'all professional.
Well, as professional as we can, or as I want to, really.
Like our version of professional.
Yeah, because
let's be honest.
I'm definitely not anywhere professional. This show is literally created like the same day we record, and I just randomly just go, all right, here's today's title, and then we pretty much just run with it. But that's how I done that on purpose, because the whole point of it is that you sit down, y'all smoke with us, we talk about what's going on in y'all minds, and that's that. But sometimes when you're smoking so many blunts and conversation starts rolling, you lose track of time. And if you gotta make dinner, what you gonna do? You gonna go to the supermarket at 9, 10 o'clock, rush and find somebody, either get the kids ready or whatever you have to. Well, let me tell you something. You don't have to do that, because they have something called Instacart now. And now with Instacart, you can get your groceries delivered to you. And because I'm such a good guy, if you go on my website, www.bluntzcoffeetea.com, and you click on any of the episodes, there's a link to Instacart. And if you click that ad and sign up, they give you $20 off just because of me. You heard? So you want to do that, trust me, because it helps me, it helps you, it helps the show. Another thing you don't have to do. So again, all you have to do is just go www.bluntzcoffeetea.com, or if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, the link is literally right there on the description. Just help us out. You help us out. We keep making this great content, and I can keep embarrassing myself for you guys. So with that being said, what episode we on? I don't even know.
Episode 8.
Oh shit, we on episode 8.
That's that ganja. Short-term memory loss.
Yeah, it's definitely been bad, especially this
sparks blood as we speak.
Yeah, I need to, because the shit I'm about to talk about. First of all, let me say what's up to our new listeners. But before I say what's up to our new listeners, let me shout out New York, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Ohio was good, Texas.
Ohio coming in strong.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on out there, guys, but, I really do appreciate that, whoever out there pushing this show for me out there, just know it's all love. And if you go on my Facebook or Instagram at Bluntz Coffee Tea, we really would like, you guys to start following us, because once the YouTube channel comes out, I'm going to be putting a lot of content on the Instagram and Twitter. Now, mind you, we just created these accounts, so they're brand new. So it's also a great time to take an opportunity of jumping in and interacting with us, before we get to the point where, like, I haven't really been able to reach out to places that I've been to yet and do actual marketing. But that's about to change coming next month. So we're going to get a lot bigger than we are now, God willingly. And, I want those that have been here from the start to always know you have a place. We're always going to make sure, I always try my best to, get back to everybody that contacts me. Sometimes I get a lot of messages and I don't get back right away. But don't think just because I don't get back to you right away that I've forgotten or I don't see your support. Because one thing for certain, I may not answer everybody right away, but I see everybody's support. And I appreciate it so much. When I say I appreciate it so much, like, so many strangers, like, just come up to me and just tell me, like, yo, like, I never even listened to a podcast. I didn't even know what a podcast was, but I like listening to your show. I like how real it is. I like what y'all talk about. And really, like, when I say that does something to me, like, that's pretty much the only motivation I got left to really keep doing this. It's just that, like, I believe that a show like this is needed for everybody, especially right now. It's not that we don't know politics or we don't know what's going on out there. We do, trust me. We talk about it behind the scenes all the time. But my biggest thing, and like I continue to say, is like I don't want to divide. I want to unite. Like I look at the analytics. I see who listens. It's everybody, and that's all I wanted. That's what Bluntz, Coffee, and Tea stands for. Really, when you get down to it, your fix is somewhere in here. But the most part is to be able to just unwind and just chill. Everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. What I'm loving is that when people give me feedback, they tell me a little bit about their own stories. And it's people you don't even like, you just look at them and you wouldn't know what they go through. One particular person would hit me up and she lives a very interesting life, and you look at her in face value, you would not think that person lived that life that they did. But like I said, everybody has a story. We all go through things in our own way. I just think that I feel like that the world, since I've been locked up and since I got out, how I see how the world has changed for me is just like the level of selfishness is ridiculous. It's like, there's just so many people have so many ulterior motives or do such weird stuff. I don't even know how to explain it, that don't even need to be done. That, simple straightforwardness is like gone nowadays, which is crazy because it's like the most easiest way to get things done and get your way. And I'm constantly always saying, always pushing back on certain things. But, there's certain topics that you just can't get away with. One of them, shout out to the stimmies. If you got your stimulus checks, that's what's up. If not, they're on their way. If you a person like me that ain't getting none of that shit, stop being on some hating shit. Because if you work, you pay for it's your money, and everybody gotta pay it back anyway, sooner or later, one way or the other. But I get very annoyed when I go on social media and everybody's just money clocking everybody or worrying about what somebody does with their stimulus check. Worry about what you do with yours. That's one of the biggest things I have going on right now. Everybody worries about what everybody else is doing. You go on my social media account, it's not personal. I keep that personal stuff amongst my friends and my, close relatives. Everything else is either about the podcast or me just being a dick. It's pretty much what you're going to see on my social media. So again, tagging it again, you can go on Twitter, Bluntz, Coffee, Tea, Instagram, Bluntz, Coffee, Tea. And if you want to just talk to me personally, you can go on Loso the Real One on Facebook, and I'll add you. I'm almost maxed out. So if you're really trying to get to know me and contact me, Man, I want to hurry up with that Facebook ad because
Yeah.
once I get maxed out, I'm not gonna be able to add anybody.
Or just go ahead and just clock in on Twitter and Instagram because we're still the same people monitoring those and talking to folks on that too. So
Yeah.
at Bluntz Coffee Tea.
Yes, I don't know why Nick interrupt me, but
Pushing the handles.
yeah, yes, that's good. But like she said, yes, and that's also the place you can talk to all of us. So like you can message me, Nick, on that same page. What answer? That's universal for all of us, so we can answer to you guys. What was I saying beforehand? I forgot already. All talking about the stimulus checks. So yeah, that's just been it's a good thing that it's coming for the people that need it. And however people want to spend it, somebody want to buy jeans or PlayStation 5. At the end of the day, all that really does, it really does help the economy, whether you believe it or not. And also, mind your fucking business. Damn, that's all I gotta say. Mind your fucking business. Why you care? Are you sucking his dick? Or you fucking her? Like, if you not, it's none of your business. That's all I gotta say about that. It's none of your business. Now, the last bit of news that I want to talk about before we get to the episodes, there was a little situation down in Indiana, was it? I believe. Was that what it is? Let me see here. Bring it up. I should have had this already prepared. But it's just I want to talk about it because I feel like Nick, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Say what?
Yo, that was for you to talk while I look for it, right? Because I'm looking for the news, and I'm like, I'm not.
I thought you had it.
Fucking terrible, yo. Yo, I'm really hoping that she saves me while I'm looking. Cause
y'all don't do that to your friends. Like I did not come in when I should have.
Yeah, she did that shit on purpose. She sees me struggling over here. And still, she's just like, all right, fuck it.
I'm like, moving on to my tea.
Yeah, at this point, we might as well do the fucking tea because I can't.
Nah, you talking about was Indiana where the stimulus thing happened?
Oh yeah. Because speaking of stimulus, it looks like somebody already died for the stimulus shit. But yeah.
Basically, the guy went to.
I'm looking for it.
I don't want to like misspeak about how many people he killed, but basically he had a baby mom's, right? And she received her stimmy. She has one child with him and one child with somebody else. I'm assuming that they're not together. The article like wasn't very like specifying what the living situation is, but apparently that he was demanding for his amount of the stimmy. Basically, because as you know, like the stimmies that come in, if you have children, that you're getting additional payment because of children in the household, etc.
Yeah, I found it. It's basically, you're right, Nick. Everything that you said, because like in the news that's being reported on Associated Press, it says an argument over a stimulus check led a 25-year-old man to shoot the mother of his child and kill 4 of her relatives at an Indianapolis home, according to reports. A day before, Malik Halfers, however the fuck you say his last name, allegedly shot Jeanette Terrace Moore. What's up with that name, Jeanette Terrace? Shit sounds like a SCD. Like I got Jeanette Terrace on my balls.
That's dumb.
And then
oh my God, rest in peace, Jeanette Terrace.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not quick to rest in peace. I don't think any innocent people should die. But I mean, this man just unload on 4 people over a stimulus check. There's one thing that I always say. Excuse me. When I'm reading news, it's just that like they don't always tell the whole story, and they turn to. Whether you like Trump or not, one thing I do agree with, the few things I do agree with him is the whole fake news thing. Is because being somebody that's been in the news myself, inaccurately, I know that, the press has a way of twisting and bending the truth. So, my first thought process just looking at this, right? I'm just thinking to myself, why the hell did he just kill 4 people? He wasn't crazy, because if he was crazy, he killed everybody, but he didn't kill his own daughter. So
wait, he killed the other child?
Yeah.
Dang.
I mean, I mean,
why are you laughing?
I get the logic behind. I'm not laughing. I just don't. I don't want nobody cursing me out on social media. I'm just saying, I get the sick logic behind it. He's like, that none of them minds. But basically, the whole argument was about that. It definitely had to be more than 1,400 too, because she got 2 kids.
Yeah.
So I think what they get like extra, like, I don't know, something crazy. I just know baby moms is winning right now. I look, bitches is going to Dubai, Florida, over here.
They go to Dubai?
Yeah,
Oh
I got people on my friends list in Dubai, like motherfuckers that do not have Dubai money, which makes me wonder,
like,
maybe I should go to Dubai for a little bit. If them motherfuckers could go, I know. What's up, nigga? You trying to go to Dubai? Let's go to the what the fuck is that shit called?
I just don't know nothing about no Dubai.
You go to United Arabs, that's one of the few places I probably fit right in and shit. Nobody would ever.
Because of the beard?
Yeah, because of the beard.
Because the beard, like, yeah.
I look like a pass with one of them.
I guess so, except you, like, light as hell.
Yeah, I'm a bright boy.
Bright nights.
Yeah, nah, I couldn't do it because I got tattoos, and, they don't play that shit over there. Anyway, so what's today's episode called?
Jealousy over sanity.
Holy shit. Woo.
That's a deep one. We're
Too
gonna
deep.
Pack some stuff today for y'all.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm smoking this shit. This shit got all kinds of stuff in it. All weed though, nothing artificial. Just all all good stuff. So Neek, you want to do the tea?
Yeah, let's roll on into it, guys.
All right, I'm gonna shut my ass up and let Neek the freak over here do
we
this.
still doing that? Why are we still doing this?
Hey, yo, not for nothing, though. The ladies came to your defense on that also. They was like, yo, why you calling her Neek the freak on podcast? Y'all bitches need to shut up.
Thank you.
Stop defending her so much.
Listen, who underwear? Girls, who underwear?
That's going to be an episode.
That's going to be my whole anthem right there. We going to play Beyonce? Let's do it.
Y'all don't run the world. Y'all ruin the world.
Oh, wow.
That's for a whole other episode.
Cue my music. I don't even have time to deal with what's going on with you right now. All right, y'all. I'm starting today with a strong brew of tea for y'all. Earlier this week, an Oklahoma high school girls basketball team is seeking legal action against the announcer for their last Thursday game, who, while with his mic on, unbeknownst to him, started yelling profanities and the N-word as they took a knee during the national anthem.
Yo, this shit is crazy by now with stuff like that. Like, what's wrong with people? Y'all don't think y'all not being recorded? Like, and these are kids.
My thing is that he said basically what happened was he was like, and we'll be right back after the national anthem. Didn't know his mic was still on, so he just started saying what he was saying plus the N-word, then saying that he hoped that they fucking lose the game, which was like a championship playoff game or whatnot. And so basically the real tea isn't him being caught saying the N-word, but get this, his excuse for why he was doing it was that it was an outburst due to high sugar levels as a type 1 diabetic.
What?
Listen.
So wait, he's blaming his diabetes?
Diabetes! Hold on. Let's just take a moment for this, y'all.
I wonder if I could use that for other things.
Diabetes. Type 1 diabetic says he gets disoriented and his sugar was spiking at the moment. Listen, y'all, if y'all really want to hear this recording, we're going to have it linked on our Twitter page. So make sure that you go over to Bluntz Coffee Tea at Bluntz Coffee Tea so you can listen to the live recording of that. And y'all tell me if he sound like somebody who's disoriented and don't know what he's saying. So, as you can see, I got feelings. I just felt like that was a BS answer. And my mother
that was the only BS answer, but not only just that, it's just, they were fucking kids, man. Like, You gotta really say that about kids. Like, nobody says nothing. Nobody says nothing when you see a motherfucker riding around with a Confederate flag on the back of this truck, right? Nobody says no crazy shit White says nothing to you. If they want to protest, if they feel some type of way, guess what? It's America. Just like y'all. Man, I'm not even gonna get into all that because I don't want people to think I'm picking sides, or it's just some things you just gotta let, you don't gotta put the kids involved in this shit. That's all I gotta say.
Well, the kids are fighting back. They went ahead and got themselves a nice little attorney, as Ben Crump, who has worked on several high-profile cases like Breonna Taylor's and George Floyd and Jacob Blake, like all of those cases. So they've pretty much caught some really good national attention around this issue as well, as they should. But joke's on him. They end up winning that playoff, and they won the whole playoffs 19-0. So they was on a real winning streak. So that goes to show what they did with all of that hate. Unfortunately, they had to find that out afterwards because I don't think they actually heard it while it was going down. I think people who were watching TV at the time heard it. It's crazy. But anyways, like I said, y'all can listen to it on our Twitter page. Go ahead and at Bluntz Coffee Tea. Listen to the live recording of that. Anyways, moving on. In some lighter tea for y'all today, your boy Drake. I know that Loso went on his whole little rant earlier, but your boy Drake just killed the Billboard records with the release of Scary Hours 2 on March
I need to stop
5th.
calling him Champagne Poppy too. Cause
Listen, nobody cares about that. Okay?
I'm not getting any royalties for that.
He don't even call himself that out loud. People just he's
on
on his
Instagram.
Instagram.
It's on his Instagram.
Right. He don't got a Champagne
Well,
Poppy
guess what?
album.
I wanted that to be my Instagram name.
Listen, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay.
Right.
Now you're Loso the real one. All right. So anyways, he's smashing the records. He became the first artist to debut songs in the top 3 spots of the Billboard Hot 100 simultaneously. And with that, also joined the Beatles and Ariana Grande in claiming the top 3 spots of the Hot 100 charts in the same week. So he's just smashing records all over the place this week. So make sure that y'all go
I just want to say something to the music industry. That man is disrespecting the music industry right now. And I mean that in a good way. I mean, he just threw out 3 songs out there just for the hell of it. And he's on the top 3 spots.
Do you remember when they used to talk so much shit about Drake when he first came out, how he was emotional and he wasn't a real rapper? He got a lot of flack for just the type of music he was putting out.
He's still emotional. He's still not a real rapper.
Yeah, but they tried to make it seem like it wasn't sellable.
Let me tell you something. And we're not going to waste a whole episode on it. But I'm going to just say this. I'm going to save it for another episode. Drake is the perfect rapper for this era. He's a perfect metaphor for this era of hip hop. He really is. The fakeness, how you can pretty much just come out of nowhere. It's celebrity. You can literally, they're actors. All these rappers are pretty much actors, and Drake is the king of them all. Whether you like to admit it or not, numbers don't lie. He the king. Period. He the king, and he's a perfect king for this era.
I'm over here silent as ever. I just feel like there's a lot there we need to unpack, and we don't got time for that.
Yeah, we don't got time. A lot of fake shit.
I was like, really? Tell us more. But I'm like, no.
I got a whole list right here of shit I could talk about when it comes to that topic. We're gonna save it for another episode though.
Another day for another day and another time. All right. Lastly, in the news for y'all, and in the spirit of our episode of jealousy over sanity and hella messy relationship things, Dr. Dre's divorce is still dragging. But guess what? He wants to be single ASAP. His wife, Nicole Young, of 24 years, filed for divorce, if you don't know, last year, June, for irreconcilable differences. But after almost a year of not coming to an agreement, Dr. Dre's lawyer is asking the judge for bifurcation, which is just legal mumbo jumbo for him to be named basically single as a status so that he can, do what he do while they try to figure out all of the paperwork and all of the dirt in this case is worked out. And there's a lot, y'all. We're talking about children outside of the marriage, prenup arguments, spousal supports, allegation of physical abuse, etc., etc., etc. So lots of drama there. So that's all for today's tea. Y'all, again, to read and listen to all the tea for yourself, go ahead and follow us on Twitter at Bluntz Coffee Tea, where you can sound off in the comments and listen to all the tea. So tell us how you feeling about today's tea.
Whoa! All I'm saying is that somebody's gonna hire this one to be an actual reporter because that shit is ridiculous.
I be researching y'all.
Yeah,
I be
I
trying to get
see.
y'all something good.
Yeah, I see, and that's what's up. I got a little bit of news, sports news that I want to talk about real quick before we end all this. Give you guys some coffee because I want to give a shout out to the King LeBron James for now being a part owner of the Boston Red Sox. It seems like over here that LeBron obtained shares in Fedway Sports Group, which is the parent company of the Boston Red Sox, along with several other prominent sports teams and companies. No word on how many shares LeBron owns or how much money he put down, but what is clear is he's a minority partner in FSG, which means he's a part owner of the Sox, as first reported by Boston Globe.
Go
That's
ahead,
what's up.
black man.
Word up. I don't know why you wanted to own that team anyway.
That's
like,
really what I want to know. Like, he like baseball?
But
Or since he's owning shares, that must be some stock tip. LeBron, tell us what's going on. Should we be invested? Tell me.
yeah, I don't know, but fuck that shit because baseball's boring. I could play baseball.
9 innings.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to y'all who are baseball fans. I don't know how y'all do it.
Yeah, I can't sit there and watch a baseball game.
I cannot. I be tired. 9.
Yeah. Fuck that. It's like with soccer. Like, and shout out to all my global people. France, what's up? UK, what it do?
Why was soccer the trigger?
Russia, because
they do play a lot of soccer.
You guys do love football. They call it football.
Yeah,
I do love football out there. So shout out to you guys in those countries. I see you. I can't watch soccer/football. That shit's boring as shit to me. It's like a whole 2 hours of watching a whole 3 points get scored. Nah, I can't do that.
See, I can watch soccer.
Nah,
I can watch me some soccer.
I see why they get so excited when a goal hits. It takes forever to get one. Like I got it automatically because I was watching the game one time with somebody, and they made a goal, and I got excited because I sat there for almost an hour and a half for that shit.
There's just like so many players, and it's just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
It's boring as shit.
Yeah, but it's like a whole it's just the way that we see like American football. So like I get it in the concept of like why it's exciting. Like that's their sport, whether you get it or not. Like I'm sure they don't understand American football. I'm sure they're just like, I don't get it.
It's the greatest sport ever invented. I'll tell you that much.
Debatable.
No, it's not.
I'm American.
Hell yeah. Listen, I'm proud to be American. I don't give a fuck.
Proud to be an American.
Listen, unlike a lot of you motherfuckers, I actually traveled outside the country. And I know that, listen, as much as I can't stand this motherfucker sometimes, ain't nowhere else I would want to be. I don't mind visiting other countries, that's for sure. I mean, I think I could live. There's a couple of countries I think I could live if I had the money.
And just like that, you've changed your mind.
Yeah, I just thought, but see, I just because I started seeing. You don't want to see the images I started seeing in my head, and I was just like, oh wait, that actually is like a good life. Go to that country. Oh shit.
I
Anyway.
just let you laugh by yourself because I'm like, we can't see what's in your brain.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, we don't see it. It's not funny to us.
Whatever, Neek. Anyway, let's get on to the show. Episode 8, Sanity.
Jealousy over sanity.
Jealousy over
Yo, you're so like Latino. Sanity over jealousy.
It's the weed.
Paper toilet.
Yeah, I do say that shit a lot, though. Like, I do.
You be having your moments.
It should be crazy. But it was just crazy because I don't even speak Spanish like that. She keeps saying that. I was like, I don't even speak Spanish like that. But shout out to all my Latinos. Que lo que hay. Todo eso. What's up? I don't know. You put me out there.
I know, but I just think it's funny. You're like, I don't really speak Spanish. And then you're like, que lo que. Right after that, I'm like, okay.
I'm saying,
You look believable now.
Anyway, let's get on to this show. So, I don't know, man. Like this, believe it or not, out of all the episodes I have to do, for some reason I'm a little nervous about this one. Only because, like, there was a reason why I didn't bother having guests or worrying about if G could come on or Star. there's a lot of, my biggest problem with people is that, people expect you to be real with them, but they don't be real with themselves. You get what I'm saying, Nick?
Mm.
And I try to be as real as I possibly can. Sometimes, I put a wall there because there's just some things, I can't be an open book about everything. And but the things that I do choose to share with you is still a lot that I ever done. And mind you, I don't know none of you guys. And a lot of you guys know more than a lot of people that share the same DNA know about me. And some things just get hard to talk about. For some reason, I guess the reason why this topic is hard to talk about is because I've seen both ends of the spectrums of jealousy. And when I was younger, I was I can admit I was a jealous motherfucker. The girl I was dating at the time was that where it became toxic was.
How young were you? Are we talking teens or
I'm
20s, early 20s?
I'm talking about I was drinking age, so I had to be 21, 22. But I could have been older than that because I got bagged and everything. I wound up doing. I did a lot of time in prison, by the way. Good to get to that in a whole other. Now I'll get down the road on that.
There's a whole piece of my life.
Yeah. That I could do a whole season on just me and Star alone could do a whole season on all the shit that happened while I was in there. But we're gonna say that the point is I know how to be around that age, and there was no really relationships before that was really serious because I was young. You get what I'm saying? I guess I can honestly say this was the real, what I would consider the real first relationship I had. Like
a serious one?
Like a real serious one where we was talking about futures, stuff like that. Really talking adult stuff with somebody. That would be, I guess, my first real relationship. And so other ones before that, I wasn't, I didn't think I was a jealous person. I probably was, but it wasn't anything toxic. But this relationship, I was toxic. I was very in love with this girl, but not in the right way. I don't even want to say I was in love because the more I think about it, I was just infatuated and just ridiculously attracted to her. And just so I couldn't believe she was with me kind of shit. And, and when I say she I just, it's crazy. It's crazy how to explain it, but I just at that time I couldn't believe I was just so suit that it was more of a trophy than anything else.
Why was she a trophy? Was she somebody that everybody else wanted?
Of course. Of course.
I'm just trying to get to the bottom of the story.
Why you trying to get more information?
I gotta do it for the listeners.
Listen, why you trying to get more information than I wanna get
Pull it out, Loso. Put it out.
But I don't know why you said that like that. That was just I like my mom. Yeah.
It just went real left.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah. Anyway, so
so she was somebody that everybody wanted. So you really felt like she was a trophy.
Yeah, I really just I was just infatuated with her. I just was I guess the word is obsessed. I was obsessed. I was obsessed with her. I was really obsessed with her, and that was a bad thing because she was just out here trying to live her life. And I just didn't trust her. I felt like she was so attractive, and I know that dudes were hitting on her nonstop, every minute, every second, that nobody cannot not ignore that all the time. You get what I'm trying to say? So, I would get really mad. And to make matters worse, she was trying to do modeling. And that made it even worse because she would be in these videos with these fake ass rappers, and or like doing like magazine, like like photo
Magazine
shoots.
yeah.
Like photo shoots with these photographers that is on some creep shit. You get what I'm saying? And so, and then she, she was young. She liked to party a lot, and which I didn't. I never had a problem with, but I didn't like when she used to not go to parties without me. And one day, I I was gonna go by her house, and she wasn't there, and she told me she was gonna be there, and I was knocking, I was waiting, and her sister finally opened the door, saying, "Nah, she's not here." I'm like, "Well, she told me she was gonna be home. Where's she at?" She's like, "Oh no, she went to a party." I'm like, "A party?" She's like, "Yeah." And so I'm just like, all right. So I go home. I'm mad. I'm calling her. She don't pick up and shit. So I go later on. I go online and I see the pictures of the party. And it's nothing crazy. It's just her drinking. There was no dudes in none of the pictures or nothing like that, right? So I didn't think nothing of it. But then I went on somebody else's. I don't know how to like fully, but basically I was on somebody else's page who also has somebody as their friend, and this is MySpace. This wasn't Facebook. But had commented, and so I was being nosy. I clicked on their shit, and there was a whole set of other pictures, and these pictures had her hugged up with all these dudes. And like
when you say all these dudes, are you saying like it's a group of dudes and she's there, or she's there with other females, but there's also dudes there?
It was mad dudes. That's what I'm saying. It was just like it was those type of photos you take like when it's like it's your homegirls and a bunch of dudes. You get what I'm saying? It was like that kind of shit.
So she was still with her homegirls in the photos.
Yeah, but they were all paired up. You get what I'm saying? So everybody looked like they was a couple.
Oh, okay.
So that's how I'm rationalizing that right now. So you ain't gotta put that voice on. I know what you trying to do. I'm not rationalizing nothing. I'm just saying like that's how at my mind, as my young dumbass mind at that time, that's how I was looking at it. And so I get mad. So I'm just like, what the fuck? So then to make matters worse, I say another one. Now they got separate pictures. Because they had a group photo of each one acting like they're a couple. Then they had separate ones. So she, like, the dude all hugged up with her. And so I'm just like, what the fuck is this shit? So I'm getting mad. So the next day I go confront her about it. And she's just like, nah, nothing happened. Those people are just from the same school as me. Da, 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 da. And I'm just like, yo, what the fuck? Like, you out here trying to embarrass me.
I'm laughing because I know like how you sound when you're angry.
And I was just like, yo, I'm just spazzing, and then like in hindsight, I look at all that stuff, right, and like all that energy and everything that I acted, and I'm just like, yo, that shit's crazy. But I made that girl's life a living hell after that. Like I was always wanted to see her phone.
Whoa,
like
shit.
She couldn't go nowhere without me, or like I didn't want her going to no parties.
Off of that one instance.
Yeah.
Dang.
Well, it was really, to be honest, it was more stuff than that. It was just like she had a lot of male friends. But
did you start putting that together like after that whole picture thing?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just like all that stuff like. That's
like
what
compiled for you.
Yeah, because like for the most part, like the type of person I am, I like let a lot of shit slide. It's not a good thing. I let a lot of shit slide, but it builds up in the background, and so like these are things that I had noticed, and I just let it go, whatever, because I didn't want to like overthink the shit. And then finally, when I seen them pictures, it was almost like the last straw. And so like, and again, like I said, I admit I was obsessed with this girl. So I was just like, I felt threatened. I felt like, and not for nothing, the dude was better looking at me. And so in the picture, so right away, I got on my hood shit quick. I wanted to fight that dude. I was like, I don't even know this nigga. And I was just like, I'm ready to kill him for no reason other than I'm an idiot and I'm just obsessed with this girl. So I made this girl's life a living hell, and so eventually she broke up with me. And actually,
How was that?
I didn't take it well. Obviously, I stalked the shit out of her. I tried to I tried a few times to get her back. I used to try to send letters with her roommates, and or I would wait at her job and shit, try to take her home. And yeah, it was getting bad. And then when it was finally like, when I knew I hit the edge, when she finally told me, she was like, "You're scaring me."
Oh shit.
And when she said that shit to me, I stopped everything. I disappeared for a little bit. I was just like, because that's not the type of dude I want to be. Like, I'm a bad guy, but not a bad guy in that way. And I felt so disgusted with myself. And I was just like, yo, like, I'm really like, all that energy for what? Like, worrying about, what that person's doing, whether, they cheated on me or not, for what? Because it's just, I didn't get nothing out of it. And so the whole point of this episode is just that jealousy is becoming really bad with everybody. And again, my number one culprit, social media, is a big, plays a big part of it. You can't even like a motherfucking picture nowadays without either your girl getting it the wrong way or the other person getting it the wrong way. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
like what emoji you use? Oh my god.
Like, it's just like,
my girl was in like a whole situation before around that where she was like talking to this dude and he got like, I just remember her calling me like crying, like feeling really like upset that she must have like went on like a long-term friend. It was like a friend of hers that she's known since like high school. And I guess he had posted like some kind of like meme that was funny to her that she liked it, but she like liked it, like put a little heart emoji or whatever, and they had a conversation. And literally the dude that she was with like just went off on her, like, you out here trying to make me look bad, trying to make me look like some kind of fool, and you out here like liking and heart emojiing like this nigga shit. And she's like, yo, like, this is somebody I've known for a while, like, he's just a friend, like, he in a whole other relationship with somebody, like, I'm not cheating on you, like, I just was just commenting on a status. And like the conversation, as I seen the conversation wasn't anything like crazy. It was more like a ha ha ha, this is really funny, I so agree with you kind of post, right? And it just got escalated into this big, huge fight with her. That she's calling me crying and feeling like shit. Like I'm not some type of hoe. I'm not out here doing da-da-da. And that just made me feel bad. Because it's like, what do I say to that, right? Other than like, yo, you shouldn't even be with somebody who's just going to flip out on you for like a heart emoji.
Yeah. But see,
on a meme though, it wasn't like a picture of him or anything like that.
The problem with things like that, especially when it comes with men, is that a lot of motherfuckers be doing shit anyway, so they be having guilty conscience. So like, a heart emoji on a comment might be innocent to you, but to him, that's how he flirts. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And so the way he flipped out like that, I guarantee you that's exactly why he flipped out like that. Because to him, that heart emoji means I'm trying to fuck. And so, like, that's
what he uses it for.
Exactly. Because there's women that are like that. There's women that get things misconstrued. Like, I've really been careful now what I like or what I don't like, because it's just like,
Yeah, you can't be doing that. Because, see, in the investigation of women, what we do is we'll see how many times you've liked somebody else's photos. And that's how we know that's the bitch you feeling, or that's the bitch you used to talk to. Like, oh, okay.
You know what's crazy? You would think that with me, but anybody that's really dating me would know, like, you can't go by that with me, because I am so random with that shit. Because there's some people that are ugly as shit that I just be trying to boost their self-esteem. Like, here you go, girl, you're awesome. because they're so cool people. Like, nah, I just be like, all right, if you really cool.
Girl, you're awesome. Do it again. Do a little hand thing. Y'all should see this.
I ain't do no hand thing. Fucking lying ass. I just said was you awesome.
Oh, why you doing the fist now? Like you wasn't waving your little finger in the air, like, girl.
Yeah, she full of shit.
Now you trying to swing
She
it
got
up.
no evidence on this. I ain't, man.
Yo, once we get a YouTube, you better not do that shit again. That everybody's gonna believe me. That's a real thing you just did.
Yo, I'm telling you, if I did
you
anything,
and Gio be doing crazy shit over here. Y'all, I wish y'all could see us. When y'all see us, y'all gonna know what I'm talking about. Remember last episode? I'm like, Gio, why you looking at me like that? In the middle of my story.
Nah, G was stoned as shit.
G be the highest one in the group, y'all. Y'all don't even know. That's why G be silent. He be coming high. Then he's like, let's roll a blunt before the show. Then he'll pass it around in the middle of the show.
The most useless audio man I've ever had. It's ridiculous.
Cha-ching.
Yeah. Speaking of which, since you asked for it.
Yes.
So yeah, it's just
social media.
Social media plays the
fuel for the fire, for sure.
It most definitely is the fuel for the fire.
Or the spark. It can be the spark.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like a lot of scenarios in which like other females and friends of mine who's experienced this, I think it's really like the spark. I think it's the spark. It's definitely gonna be the spark now in pandemic. I feel like first of all, people are just like trapped in their houses if they're doing what they supposed to be doing.
Man, ain't nobody trapped in the house. We don't even go.
Everybody,
nobody give a fuck about. Listen, nobody give a fuck
about the corona.
Nobody give a fuck about Rona. I just looked. I was just on Instagram on Academic, that faggot ass dude's page. None against gay people, by the way. I just got a personal beef with Academic.
You got a personal beef with everybody.
A lot of people.
We gotta change the episode name to Loso's personal beef with several people of note.
I don't want gay people to ever get offended out here because y'all coming crazy for a lot of people.
I know. Apparently, somebody want me to be a side chick. I don't even know how.
Yeah, but
this happened.
I ain't talking about that. I'm just talking about how there's not even a Mr. Potato Head no more.
Yeah.
I don't want no problems with the gay community. They coming after Mr. Potato Head and everything.
Well, to be quite honest, they just supported that. That was a decision that the company made itself to change Mr. Potato Head to just Potato Head.
I just think it's stupid.
I just felt like the gay community was out here asking for that, right? I have not seen the news in which they were asking for it. But when they did it, they were like, okay, good on you. Appreciate it, as they should, right? But only thing that made Mr. Potato Head, right? He's a potato. That made him a Mr. was they gave him a mustache, which is removable.
Well,
I don't get it.
My real beef is just that, everybody always complains about Trump supporters and what they do, but there's a whole other side of people that that act like they're on our side, but do all this extra stuff that nobody's asking them to do. Nobody's asking you to, gay people ain't asking you to take down Mr. Potato Head. You get what I'm saying? It's a certain group of people that are just being super extra. And I don't want to get into it, but it's just corny because, I feel like on each side has bad people in it. People that, don't like Trump, there's people that's bad there. People that do like Trump, there's certain people that are good. I've talked to people, believe it or not, that are Trump supporters that ain't a lick of racist, ain't really crazy. They just either fucking religious or they're greedy as hell.
Don't understand policy.
They're just greedy as hell. They just like their money and they want to have as much as more of it as possible. And they really think Trump is the guy to help them keep more of their money. So that's just the logic behind the whole thing. But anyway, to get out of the politics talk, I just wanted to just address that real quick because I just feel like that shit is corny.
But yeah, I feel like social media is definitely like, I feel like in this time is the spark for a lot of like jealousy. And when we say jealousy over sanity, it's like choosing to be on some jealousy instead of choosing to have peace in a relationship. You know, like you just making shit messy for no reason. Like messy. Why are you doing that? It's mad extra. Speaking of which, I can tell you, like, I've had an instance like that in one of my relationship, a long-term relationship. I would say it's...
Oh, we got a story? We got a story.
Yeah, we got a story.
All right, we got a story. Go ahead, say your story.
Oh. Memory lane. I just wanted to do memory lane right there. So, I was in a long-term relationship.
I'm going to use that every chance I get, guys, so stop complaining.
I just kind of said you didn't do it last time.
Nah, because people had messaged me and said, yo, that was way too loud and unnecessary. I'm like, for the person that said that, this is absolutely necessary for me.
Absolutely. First of all, the person who said that don't know how petty you are, because now we're going to use it
every chance I get, I'm going to use it.
Just because you said that
Just
shit.
because that person did say that, I'm going to use it. Every chance I get. So you can go ahead, Nick. I'm sorry. You can tell your story. And now we're going to go back in time for Neek the Freak.
Oh, my God. Memory lane. Yeah, we cannot use this. I don't even know how to be serious on the top. Anyways, was it a long-term relationship in which I experienced full-on jealousy, right? So, and I feel like it's a very similar story to you, right? Where I'm in this long-term relationship with this guy for about 2 years, 2.5. How you gonna laugh at my story? Don't even press the button again.
Yo, go ahead. My fault.
So I'm in a relationship for 2 years.
Yeah.
And right off the bat, like everything's cool. But you know, after that 1 year mark, things start to get, you know, people aren't in their honeymoon stage anymore, right? And he basically was at some point like starting to like accuse me of like being with other people because either somebody said something or he like misread something on social media and this was like when I was in my early 20s. Yeah, early 20s. He really like dug into that, and I would just be like, yo, you don't even make any sense. And I just remember like we took like a break from each other. I just remember we broke into this like huge argument, and it was making me feel crazy because I was like in love with this dude, and very similar to what you're saying, like having conversations about getting married after college, all of this other stuff, right? And I genuinely like love and respected this dude, and I was feeling like destroyed inside because it was just like I couldn't move or breathe without there being some kind of accusation slung my way based off of what some other nigga might have said, right? And I wasn't the type of girl like people just, you know, like I faded away in the background. So long story short, some of the people that were saying stuff were also the same dudes that would see me and be like, oh, you still with so-and-so? Y'all still together? You know those kind of guys, right?
Yeah.
And the same was whispering in his ear, like, oh, well, she was at this party. She was doing this. Nick was doing that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, none of that even makes sense. But because I cared about him so deeply, I started to, like, feel shitty. And I was just like, all right, well, I'm just not going to go anywhere with my friends. And I wasn't even the type of girl to go out like that. Like, I was putting myself through college. There was a lot of stuff that I was doing. So I didn't have time to, like, do all the things that everybody else was doing. So the few times I went out was very rare. And so I just like stopped going out with my friends, didn't want to like go anywhere. I didn't want to go to any like parties on campus unless he was going to be there, like all of that stuff. Right. And it didn't matter what I did. It still ended up into like huge fights. And I started to feel like mentally unstable over it. And so I ended up just like saying like, you know what, I need a break from you. Like, I don't know what the issue is, but you don't even make any sense right now. I was like, I don't understand how you can accuse me of anything when you're the type of dude that likes to like pop up, right? And before I thought he was just doing that to be like sweet, of just like showing up like unannounced. So I never thought nothing of it. But as things progressed, clearly it was a checkup, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was just like, you've popped up on me multiple times and I never knew you were coming. And I had been genuinely excited to see him, right? Like not expecting him to come and then he'd show up. Be so excited. I was like, some of the stuff you're saying doesn't even make any effing sense, right? Long story short, I ended up not being with that person. And the decision to not be with them literally came on the day like we had like the umpteenth fight. And I was just like outside crying on the floor and like feeling terrible that I can't do this anymore. I can't be with this person anymore. Right. And then after that, he went on social media and started assassinating my character, making me feel like shit while still trying to get back with me. It was just so messy. And for what, right? Based off of jealousy that did not exist. It just didn't exist. Now, on the flip side, when that is happening and it is existing, I still don't think that there's any reason for people to behave in the way that they behave, over a suspicion. Or even if you figure out that somebody really is cheating on you, is it worth you doing and being all that extra?
I feel like there's a lot of different forms of jealousy. And like for example, like the way I used to be, I thought that shit was terrible. But over time, talking with other women and their experiences, and the most I've ever did was yell. You feel what I'm saying? Like women have been mentally abused over jealousy, physically abused, raped. Like fuck. Like I hear some of these stories and I be like, damn. Like, all because of insecurity. It's really what it is. It's insecurity. And it's not always, in the way you think, like in terms of, how big he is or how good he is in bed. It's insecurities and just manhood in general. Some dudes can be the best in bed and still not feel completely like a man because they're cowards. And they know that deep inside that they cowards, right? And so they prey on women who they think they are weaker, or worse, let you be a strong woman and he a coward. Now he has to definitely assert his dominance over you.
Yeah.
Because the last thing he gonna want to do is have a bitch run him on, because he can't be tough on the streets.
Yep. Speak on it.
So, like, I seen all this. I seen them type of men. I know I'm definitely not them type of men. And I know back when I was doing that dumb shit with that girl, and after I lost her, I knew that it was time to change. I was like, yo, I already lost a great girl over my insanity, because that's what it was.
Insanity.
It, like, to be that level of jealousy or worse is insanity.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with you.
And literally, I think about like what ruined my relationship was that insanity, right?
Yeah.
That was definitely somebody that I loved deeply, wanted to have children with, and it's been a long time in my life since I've actually felt that way about anybody else. And we've talked several years after that.
Yeah.
And turns out he had cheated on me during the relationship.
See what I'm talking about, though?
Yeah.
See what I'm talking about? It's always a guilty conscience. It was a guilty conscience.
At the point, I had figured it all out, because this was like somebody that they had. First of all, this is a little advice for men. Do not talk about what's happening in your relationship. And this is for men, women, same-sex partnerships, right? Do not talk about your fight with another person who is opposite sex of you, because you just don't know, right? And that was my rule in relationship. And so I should have known in the first term of our relationship that something was off, because we had an argument about something, right?
Yeah.
And he came back to me maybe like a few days after that, apologizing, said he talked about it with his coworker at work, blah, 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 right? And I said, you was talking about our relationship stuff with like somebody else that isn't your best friend, right? There's one female that I know is his best friend, right? Who I know, who I've
Oh,
met.
I was about to say, because I have female friends that
Exactly. But that's different, you know? Like, I'm talking about random strangers, random bitches.
I'm as good. I'm as good as, you know, with the ladies because of ladies, not because of myself. Because, you know, I have a lot of female friends. Shout out to y'all, by the way. You know, shout out to y'all. Y'all know who y'all are. I was about to say y'all names. I don't want y'all to get mad. But y'all know who y'all are.
Yeah. That's not an issue for me. That's like not an issue for me because like people have their best friends or their close friends and they're of the same sex or opposite sex. That's fine because you in a long term relationship, you know who all those people are. So when I'm saying like this is a random female, this is a random female. Somebody I don't know, somebody who doesn't know our relationship, how we met, all that other extra stuff, right?
Yeah.
Is giving advice on how he did wrong, right? And I sort of accepted the apologies. I was like, "What I tell you about talking about our relationship?" With random people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care if the outcome of the conversation worked in my favor because people be conniving.
But you know what's funny? People do that shit on social media. Like one of the biggest turnoffs for me is seeing a female just, you know, airing their things out or asking for, you know, advice about personal shit to strangers. You know, like that shit is a fucking turnoff. But that's just like the equivalent of that.
Welcoming people in your business for no reason, right? And so turns out this person ended up being a person that he immediately started seeing like not but a month after we were dating, after we finished our relationship, our two almost 3-year relationship. And I'm supposed to think like, oh, interesting. And then I found out that same year that by December she was 5 months pregnant. We broke up over the summer. And so she was pregnant basically 2 months after we broke up. What'd I tell you?
That's crazy.
What'd I tell you? This was somebody you was fucking with for a while. You was talking to this bitch. And so all of that, I didn't really find out or figure out until like, you know, the end of that year. And imagine how I felt. I was like, no wonder why he was the way that he was. He was actually cheating on me and I totally missed it, right? So now you feel like a fool, right? But at the same time, I will tell you people that the fact that I didn't know in a relationship and the relationship ended anyways is just a testament of like, if it's going to fall apart, it's going to fall apart regardless, right? And I just kept that in relationship, that I don't feel the need to be clocking my relationship, my partner, and what they're doing and when they're doing it and being in their phone and watching what they do and asking them where they are every 5 minutes and telling them what they can and cannot do.
All that energy, yo.
It's too much.
That shit is just listening to you say that shit is stressing me the fuck out.
It's too much. And females do this.
Like,
and I'm sure men do this as well.
I'm in a relationship. If I'm in a relationship, a serious relationship, you're getting the password, you're getting the access, but I don't really ever expect you to use it because, you know, what would you get out of it? First of all, right? Second of all, I believe that in a relationship there should be a level of privacy, and what you're talking with your homegirls, I shouldn't know about or should have access to. You get what I'm saying? When I'm talking to my boys, you shouldn't have access to. I shouldn't have to explain what I'm talking to my boys about. Because I'm amongst my men. I want to talk about man shit. You don't need to know about it.
And you don't know the context of the conversation.
And so, a lot of women get it misconstrued sometimes that like sometimes like a dude don't want you to see his phone because it's a chick. A lot of the times it is that, but there's some instances more so than people like to admit that men just don't want you to those conversations is private. What men say amongst men don't like women knowing, and I'm sure women are the same way. And so. This is just my personal stance on this. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying I don't need to see my woman's phone, nor do I expect her to check mine. Then you're not my woman. If you can't trust me, and you know you're gonna hit me with all these excuses of what happened in your last relationships, and you can't give me the fair. Let me fuck up. I understand, you know, you had problems in the last relationship. I understand that niggas ain't shit nowadays. I get all that, right? But give me the chance to fuck it up. Like, don't put me on a pedestal that's at an unfair advantage because you got constantly fucked over and over and over again. Because that just men get tired of that shit. And you know, women get a different type of jealousy that's just as toxic and sometimes even more. And now I'm gonna go into my flashback as I take you down memory lane. As these crazy bitches with their jealous ass almost try to kill you, boy.
Memory lane.
These bitches be crazy. Makes me want to be celibate sometimes.
Psych.
Yo, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. Yo. This day's been a bad day. But so yeah, man, women, when women are jealous, it's like a whole, like for me, it's like a whole other level. The
It's
level,
1,000.
yeah, like oh my god, I don't even know where to begin. I guess I'll just go with the most recent one that I was talking to, cause she probably listened to this and she needed to hear this anyway. Cause that's why she ain't around. But man, I just got out of prison not so long ago. Second year out, shout out.
Hello, freedom.
Parole.
Freedom.
Fully done with parole.
Amen.
But at the time I was talking to her, I was still on parole. And has nothing to do with the actual story. It just I'm gonna get to it.
Necessary for the timeline.
Yeah. But like when we first started talking, I should have done the warning signs right away. And fellas, I'll give you all the warning signs right now.
How to know you're with a crazy ass bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
This bitch is jealous and she prefers that over sanity.
Yeah, number one, she constantly talks about how dudes fucked her over before she talks about what's her favorite color or what type of food she likes to eat. This is very important. You need to
This
understand.
was right out the gate and just talking?
Yeah, like, let me tell you something. Yeah, fellas, you need to watch out for this. Because she's literally warning you without warning you that she's a crazy bitch and she's going to be psycho on your ass and everything. Because I should have known. Like, she was like, when we was talking, she literally spent a whole hour literally going down the list of ain't shit niggas she was dating, right? And so I'm sitting there like, oh my God, like, damn. And she's just like, yeah, pretty much all dudes are liars. And that was another warning sign right there. I should have noticed. So she pretty much hate men but likes dick.
Ain't that how it goes always?
That's pretty much what it is, right?
I feel like that's a universal truth though. Like there's levels to that. There's levels.
Anyway, whatever, Nick. Anyway, so we started talking, we started getting serious, right? Now we're not even in a relationship yet. And thank God that, I put these bitches on probations because look, the nut shit that happened while she was on probation was astronomical. So, I wear 2 jobs and sometimes at the night job it's slower than others. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So sometimes I'm out early, sometimes I'm out, later. They're really not no set time other than when I'm supposed to go in, and I'm supposed to go in at 9:00. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, this chick thought she was CSI / NCIS type bitch, that she thought she was clocking my moves correctly, and she's like, "Oh, you switching it up," and I was like, "Now all of a sudden you can't text at this time," and so I'm just like, "Oh my God," and that's like when you start off with me like that, like it's almost guaranteed I'm gonna find an exit strategy ASAP, because nothing more that I hate than being accused of something I'm not doing because of your shitty ass past. I don't accuse you of being a thought or a whore or a cheater based on my past, and a lot of women, most women do that. And now to be fair, Yeah, I got a lot of reasons to be jealous. Valid reasons. But a lot of the times, at least in my instances, when I'm dealing with it, it's usually right in the beginning of the relationship. Before I even do anything.
Mm.
You're just assuming shit because you still have past trauma from your last relationship.
Right, and you brought it into this relationship.
Yeah, and every woman tries to say, no, I won't do it. And you do it.
Yeah.
And you do it. And you do it subconsciously without even knowing you're doing it.
Because trauma like stays with you, and it's not even like, sometimes it's not even on purpose, but you definitely have to take a moment and look within yourself and think about that. Also, there's too many females that are jumping from relationship to relationship without pausing in between.
Exactly. Thank you that you said that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to touch on that so many times. Because there's been so many instances where I talk to a female only to find out that they just got out of a relationship. And I would tell them, yo, give yourself some time.
Yeah, couple months at least.
I'll be around. Like, it's not that serious. Like, you know, if I want to fuck, I'm gonna be around. If I tell you I'm gonna be around, that means I'll be around.
You're like, I will cater to whatever needs you have.
No. I ain't never say all that.
That's not what you're saying?
Nah, I ain't saying I'm catering to every need. All I'm saying, I'm gonna be around. I'm just gonna watch. And once that status change and you out there looking, I'm gonna be the first thing standing right in front of that door. Like, hey, remember me? I was the guy that said I was gonna wait. I get first dibs.
We don't got a dibs list, Loso.
Yeah, I know that shit sounded horrible.
I don't know what you think women out here doing. We don't got a list of dibs. Like, he got first dibs.
That was a terrible.
Was that like a 1800s dance card? He's like first on the dance card.
That was a terrible example. I apologize for that example. But
So, all right. So she's already like, you're switching it up. Sorry.
Yeah. So she became fake detective and say switch it up. I tried to explain to her what my job is. The first thing I did, period, was tell her like, yo, I'm very busy, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, this ain't for everybody. Mm-hmm. Because even, you know, at that night shift job, like, motherfuckers couldn't hold a relationship. Mm-hmm. Because, you know,
you're not there at night.
Because bitches always talking about I want a working man. They get a working man, don't know what the fuck to do. That's why niggas sell drugs. Why the fuck, like, this shit is ridiculous. Like, you're like, I've literally seen women cheat on good working men because they're not home. Yo, listen, like, not everybody can be rich in this country.
Right.
I'm going to say this one more time.
Or make salary.
Listen, I'm going to say this one more time. Not everybody can be rich in this country. Some people got to fucking really just basically work for this shit. And, you know, not everybody's going to have money. Not everybody's going to have the same education or the same opportunities as you. And people forget that. And my whole point of saying all that is just that there's just some things can be avoided with communication. You get what I'm saying, Nick? Mm-hmm. And I just like what do women get by looking through the phone? What do women get by accusing someone without, you know, you don't got no fucking evidence. You know you don't have evidence. You know what it really is that last motherfucker fucked your head up so bad and everything that you don't want to take shots. Then why are you in a relationship? Same thing with fellas, because it works both ways. Why are you in a relationship? Why don't people give... So many things can be solved with just simple solutions. If people would just give them space before they hop into the next. But we really live in this era where people can't be alone. And there's chicks out here and there's dudes that said, nah, I can do it. It's bullshit. Because as soon as you meet somebody that gives you the inkling of what you've been dying for, then you attach to it like motherfucking Velcro. Because you know how many times I heard women say, oh, I don't mind being alone. I don't mind being alone. And then as soon as they find a guy they like and shit, all of a sudden that shit change. And then she's just up on that dude's ass 24/7. And then, you know, you need healthy space.
And privacy.
Yeah. But you need healthy space to be able to, like, change yourself. and look back and reflect before you jump into the next relationship. And now for the fellas gotta do better. That insecurity shit is like really damaging women, and you're damaging your kid's mother. You're damaging mothers, period. Like, that's somebody's mom. Some of these stories I've been hearing lately is disgusting to me. Like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. I'm telling every man that you think you can, but you can't be out there fucking and then be paranoid what she doing, because you out there doing something you're not supposed to be doing.
Right, just don't do it.
And plus, it just makes you look weak. One of the biggest reasons why I stopped being so jealous is because it just made me feel weak. It made me feel like I'm giving this female way too much power.
That's so funny. One of my homegirls, we was talking about jealousy in general. I was talking about how we was going to do this episode. And she was like, that's some weak shit. She literally said that. That's some weak shit. Like, you doing weak shit right now.
Nah, that is, I agree with her. That is some weak ass shit. If you a jealous nigga or if you a jealous female, like, that's some weak ass shit. You don't have confidence in yourself. Mm-hmm. You don't have confidence in anything. Now it's different. Now I don't give a fuck. Mm-hmm. I really don't. I'm like, my mindset is I'm just territorial. Like, if I feel like a dude is coming too close where I consider mine, I'm gonna handle that shit right then and there. We ain't taking it outside. We'll just go do it right where it happened at. But other than that, like, if the person I'm with, if she has male friends, I'm not sweating it no more. If she want to go out, because, I don't really go out much. She want to go out, party with her homegirls, I'm cool with that. I'm not going to lose sleep on that. Because at the end of the day, I know my worth. You cheat on this, that's on you. Because you don't get a part two. You don't get a part two of this. I don't play that shit.
So when did old girl start getting crazy, though? That's what we didn't hear in the story.
Oh, yeah, because I went on this whole fucking thing. I really didn't want to start talking about it. Because she started finding, she started...
Made up stuff?
She really had beef with my last ex.
How'd she know about your last ex, though?
Because,
Why you do that little chuckle?
They knew each other, kind of.
Ah! Why do you tell these stories? Because you know I'm gonna make you say stuff you won't say.
They kind of knew each other. They wasn't friends or anything like that. They wasn't even enemies.
They were like associates.
Yeah, they just knew the same type of people. You get what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
But they known of each other.
Uh-huh.
So, and it was well known that the girl before her, I was very in love with. Like, I was trying to get back with, kind of, like, I was that deep in love with her. Mm-hmm. And she kept shooting me down.
Okay.
Like, so I moved on, and I moved on with this chick. And, but it came out later on that she pretty much was the rebound girl. And then, that she, I guess my ex at the time was bragging how I still wanted her. That was never true. Anything, but that's what she told me, why she fought her. Because she went over there, confronted her, and they fought in the middle of the street.
Oh, shit.
And,
Now they fighting for you, boy?
Yeah. I don't enjoy that. That's a lie. I definitely enjoy it.
I was like, name a man that doesn't enjoy that.
I was about to say,
y'all got whole movies about that.
All right, that's a lie. I love it. I really don't. That shit is a lot of drama. That should be embarrassing at the moment though. You think like it's fun in hindsight, but then when you like at the moment and that shit's going down, and everybody's just looking at you. And I'm just like, you were just embarrassed. You just like, what the fuck? But yo, she made up this whole lie saying that that old girl was on social media talking shit, bragging about how I still wanted her, this and this and that. None of that was never true. What happened was somebody told her that knew me that that me and old girl was like really like
in love and all that.
Yeah. and that and then she just created a narrative from that, and make it worse, my ex was more attracted than her. So again, like I said, the insecurity plays a big part in it, or with female cases, past trauma. So she got played a lot. That was one of the things she told me. Definitely make sure she told me first off the roof that she got played a lot. And so one day I had went out with the guys and shit, and she went and came and meet up with me. And this shit is embarrassing, man, because we was at this hotel, and she drove all the way to where I was at, which was like she was living in Newark, and she came all the way to Atlantic City, which I think is about like almost like a 3-hour drive, if I'm not correct. Might be a little less, but it was long. She drove all the way there just to smell my dick.
What?
Yep.
Legitimately?
I'm not even kidding.
She
randomly. She didn't tell me. She didn't tell me she was coming or anything like that. She just randomly showed up. She's like, I'm in AC. Like, I want to see you. I'm like, what? She's like, I miss you. I want to see you. I'm like, huh? It's like, where you at? What hotel? So I told her what hotel I was at. She was there. She wasn't even that far. And she was like, can you meet me downstairs? I go in the car, talk to her. She was like, whip your dick out. I'm like, what? I'm like, whip your dick out. So, I'm not thinking anything of it, right? I was just like, all right, your wish is my command. Whip it out.
I know, you're like, I was about to go down.
Yeah, I was like, all right, I was already drunk. I was like, sure, no problem. I just whipped it out, and she just started sniffing it. She's like, I'm like, she's like, oh, all right. Yeah, you really wasn't doing nothing. I'm like, yo, did you just smell my dick? Are you fucking serious?
I'm sorry. I can't even.
Like she really did it. Like nostrils flared and everything.
What are we doing right now? Yo, I'm so embarrassed as a woman right now. Like that. What? Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yo, man, listen. This shit is not that surprising. A lot of these females do stupid shit like that.
I'm sure listen.
Females just do it slicker.
Because that don't even sound like a thing you would tell your friend you did.
But that shit is just like, yo, when I say that was a whole different type of insanity, like when she just looked at me like that was normal what she just did.
Yo, I had like the normal conversation with you after. Yeah. Like, oh, you really wasn't doing nothing.
Yeah, she was just like,
what?
Yeah, she was like, wow, like you really was a man of your word. You wasn't doing nothing.
Oh my God.
And she was like, do you got a separate room?
Oh my God.
She was like, you want to get a separate room? I'll pay for it.
Oh.
And I'm like, what? I'm like, you can't, you drove all the way down here to smell my dick? Are you serious? Are you fucking serious? I'm getting mad just retelling this motherfucking story. I was so mad. I was just like, yo, because we've been fighting that whole week because she didn't want me to go. And I already had made plans, right? And once I made plans, I ain't backing out. I'm like, yo.
That's always a red flag when they don't want you to go out with your same friends.
Yeah, and I was like, yo, before you was even in the picture, we already had planned to do this big AC trip. So I'm just like, yo, like, so that was a fight that whole week. Like, her pretty much like, oh, I knew, like, you just, like, she go to be there. Why can't I go? And I'm like, yo, it's all dudes. So she was like, so? And I was like, I know how to have fun like the guys. I'm like,
oh
you
my God.
bugging.
Oh my God.
I'm like, yo, this chick really
I'm
like.
Sorry I asked, Lozo. I'm a little like, I feel right now. I feel crazy listening to this story. Yo, she did, yo. There must be a lot going on for her though. Like, emotionally.
I don't know, but
you had to have been through some stuff and like been at the edge of your mental health to do some shit like that.
And I remember telling Star that shit, and he's like, yo, she really loved you. And I was like, she was a fucking psycho.
Listen, like, we need to have a separate conversation with Star why he thought that was a testament to anything. It's a whole other issue.
That nigga is the worst Jiminy Cricket ever. He's like, that's all I gotta say about him. This guy is not. You know how you supposed to have a good one and a bad one. Mm-hmm. Star's just the bad one for me. He's just like He encouraged him between him and G. They just encouraged me to just be more of an asshole than anything else.
Oh my god. She must really love you. Wow.
Yo, but that shit was really crazy though. Like I was like I broke up with her right then and there, and I was just like, yo, you came all the way down to Atlantic City to get broken up on. Like that's really what you like. That's fucking crazy. I was mad disgusted. I was like, yo, you really bugging. Cause I used to hear stuff like that or see like hear that shit on Maury.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really think chicks do shit like that.
Right.
This chick was a whole basset hound, motherfucking sniffing my dick, looking for evidence. I was just like, yo, you didn't even have to go even that far down.
Like, ladies, let's not do that. It's 2021. We don't have time to be jealous. We don't got time.
You don't need to be smelling nobody's dick, yo. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Just leave the dude. Just leave him.
My other thing too is like when you said, "Oh, you know, let me fuck up," right?
Yeah.
Now, here's what I have an issue with anyone that does this. Person fucks up, goes cheat on you, goes do whatever it is, right? Stepped out on a relationship. You welcome that person back into your life, right? Now the trust level isn't the same, right? It's definitely not. There's no it being the same still. But then you become an investigator after that.
Yeah.
Constantly checking, seeing what they up to, what they doing, etc. My whole thing is like, why are you bothering to do that? You're doing that as if you feel like cheating is wrong, but you just took the cheater back. I feel like if you're gonna say forgive and forget.
But they can't though.
They can't, which is why we need to stop taking back people that cheated on you.
Yeah, that
because you're not doing yourself any service because you don't forget, and so you use other ways to bring up issues in a relationship and just mess up the whole relationship. Eventually, that shit breaks down. It's a very rare scenario, and I have not seen it yet, but I'm not going to say it doesn't exist, where you just forget and move on and have a beautiful relationship, have your babies, and live the rest of your lives together, and you die together and whatever, right? But I'm tired of females and anyone taking back the person that cheated on them and then decide to be the freaking CIA, an investigator of that person's life and what they're doing because you don't trust them anymore. Don't welcome them back into your life. Stop doing it because you're wasting your time. You're wasting their time. You're wasting your time. My whole thing is like, you don't give a F about them cheating on you at that point. You don't care that they did that because you took them back. So therefore, you should be letting that go and not looking for them to be a cheater again. Because what you gonna do? Because by all accounts, the receipts say you take back cheaters.
And motherfuckers do pay attention to the receipts. They definitely do. I feel like just to touch on what you just said, like for the fellas version of that, man, you don't know how weak you look when you that jealous to other men. Like you really look like prey. And like, and if your bitch is bad, you're gonna lose her. Cause a guy like me, if I see and I know you that jealous, it's like butter. If I know you that insecure and I know you that jealous and she's bad, I know I can take her from you. Cause I already know you already gave her life a living hell.
Yeah, she tired.
And so I'm gonna give her a relief that she so desperately knows she needs. And all because you just insecure. It would have never happened.
And the attitude of like, if you keep accusing me of this thing that I'm not doing, I might as well go ahead and do it.
Yep, and I've done that. I'm guilty. I'll tell you that right now. I'm guilty of that shit. Somebody accused me so much. There's only so much I can talk in one episode. I can really just run this shit all at once, but I'm tired right now. There's a whole other cheater. I mean, a whole other jealous chick that deserves her own episode. The amount of fucking shit she put me through. But
over nothing.
Over nothing. Nothing. She was just couldn't get over the fact of her own self-hate. And she was a beautiful woman. She was a beautiful woman. She just was kind of too dark. And that really fucked her head up. And she couldn't take, she couldn't just accept that I was just about her. Like, I had to be fucking somebody else. You get what I'm saying?
She had issues with her skin tone?
Yeah. And so, she just felt like, oh, you could be with anybody, this and that. Like, first of all, she just didn't even trust that I was really attracted to her like that. She knew she was attracted, but she thought she was attracted to the point that just niggas just wanted to fuck. That nobody wanted to take her serious kind of shit. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, but I've definitely felt like that.
So, I'm like, I'm telling him like, nah, I think I'm digging you. It is what it is. Fast forward, I didn't realize just how jealous this chick was, and why I understood why she was single for so long, because she was a fucking Nazi. Excuse me. I felt like I was in prison. Like, she would follow me, and she didn't think I knew I could catch her following me in her car to see where I would go. And she would just constantly accuse me over and over again. I wasn't doing nothing. It's not my fault. Like, that at that time I was good. I was good looking. I was, I was in the best shape of my life. I was young, I was a buck out there. But I wasn't, like, I was all about her at that time. Because I wasn't beat for the drama. And plus, to be honest, it wasn't even that I was faithful for her sake. I was faithful because I just had a lot of things going on at that time. But the point was, I wasn't doing anything. And the fact that she accused me so much, the fact that she did all that nut shit, that I decided to say, fuck it. My ex wound up hitting me up. She was drunk one night. I said, sure, fuck. Then we just wind up making it to the point where, like, I wasn't even trying to hide it. I wanted to see how long. I wanted to get caught on purpose.
Oh, fat.
Because I wanted her to know this was her fault. Like, that this happened because of her. Because I just got tired. And you put me right back into my ex's arms. The one thing you didn't want to happen is the one thing that ended up happening. So the same thing I'm going to tell you fellas. Because dudes make that mistake all the time. All that jealousy just means that she's going to leave you. Or you become this guy that you don't want to be. Punching on women and all this other stuff because you're insecure. Get a hold of your insecurities. Go to the gym. Take some boxing matches. I don't know. Shoot something. Take up hunting. Take a hobby up. Make anything that's going to make you feel like a man again. Other than beating on these bitches.
I mean, but first they have to, like, admit that that's what they're dealing with.
They know. They ain't going to say it.
Nah, they don't got to say it out loud. But, admitting it to yourself. Like, you got other shit you're dealing with that just needs to be handled. And that's what's messing up
for
your
those dudes, they know what type of insecurity I'm talking about. And how, like, they question their manhood. Or feel like their manhood's being questioned. Those type of dudes know exactly what I'm talking about.
The moral of the story is pick sanity in the relationship. And that means you don't need to be a fake detective in here. My theory is that, somebody stepping out on you is going to get found out anyways. You're going to figure it out. They're going to slip. It's going to happen. And then you can move on with your life. Stop taking back cheaters and thinking like everything's going to be fine after that. It's not. And stop bringing your baggage into the next relationship. And I'm saying this as a person who have gone through the ebb and flow of relationships, right? Like, because we've all done our dumb stuff. We've all been jealous at one point or did that. But after a certain age, like, you have just got to, like, know who you are as a person and start manifesting the relationship that you want, and then going and having that relationship and trying to build in that relationship. I think the other thing that people forget is that privacy is something that you should have in your relationship. Some things ain't for your relationship. You know, you should have a little something for yourself. That's how you also keep your sanity in the relationship, right?
Right.
Like some things, you know, Sunday brunch with the girls is your thing. Every Sunday, you're out. I'm not hanging with my boyfriend. I'm spending time with the girls having Sunday brunch.
And that's all right. And fellas, let your girl do that. It's all right.
Yeah, and fellas need to be able to be allowed to do their man things, play their video game nights, hang out, play poker night, whatever. Like real long-term couples don't spend 24 hours with each other going everywhere together. Like they have their own things that they do. And when they come together beautifully. And I think that people just need to be able to understand that you can be in a relationship with somebody and that person has their own stuff too. You don't need to be up in everything. I just feel like there's just the way and unhealthiness in relationship is so glorified in social media, in movies, and what you see like, you know, celebrities doing. Like you feel like that's how you should run your life. And that's not, none of those things are good models for that, you know? None of those things. And the people who are really making relationship work out here are not getting glorified, are not being seen, you know? And that's what we need to be thinking about is just what does real relationship look like to you and trying to build that type of relationship. And I'm pretty sure it's not you acting crazy. It's not you clocking tweets and Instagram and phone bills and all kinds of stuff to be clocking what that person is doing. Oh, the iPhone, what you call it again? Like the tracker on the iPhones?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to say this one little thing. I remember
Find my phone and shit.
Yeah, I remember being like how I just want to say this one thing because I want people, adults especially, listening to this show, understand how the way we've made unhealthy relationships impact young folks, right? I'm in the store, a clothing store, right? A retail store. I'm getting clothes or whatever. And I remember standing by the jewelry section, and next to it is where people are lined up to go into to change their clothes, right? The dressing rooms. And I'm listening to these two girls. They had to have been, I think they were high school age. So they had to be somewhere like 14, 15 or 16, right? And I'm there just looking at jewelry and I'm listening to their conversation. And the first girl says to the other, like, oh, so he's going to be mad, because I didn't tell him that I was going to go to the store today. And her friend goes like, girl, you guys are back together? She's like, yeah, you know, but he just texted me because he saw that I was out here and now he's asking me what I'm doing, right? Because they got the little iPhone thing. She's like, oh, you guys like swap locations or whatnot? Whatever they do. You know, I don't got no iPhone.
Hold on. Let's talk about how you was all up in these girls' conversations.
This is not me up in the conversation, Loso. This is me minding my business, looking at jewelry and overhearing a conversation happening right. I can breathe on these girls.
Yo, you overheard everything though. That shit is crazy. Well, go ahead though. My fault. I'm sorry.
Basically, this young woman, right? Her friend is saying to her, I thought you guys broke up. But she's saying that he's messaging her right now, asking her where she's at, right? This girl's 14, 15, or 16, right?
Yeah.
And saying that he's messaging her where she's at because he don't know where she's at right now because they got each other tracking. They're tracking each other.
Yeah, that's wild.
And she's 14 and 15. And she's giggling about it. And I could tell from the tone of her friend, like she's like uncomfortable with the conversation and doing like the whole like, you're crazy or whatever, right? And she's like, oh, you know, that's my man, that's my boo, blah, 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 right? I just want you to know, like, the shit that adults are doing is impacting young girls at that age to think that shit is okay. That shit is not okay. What is a 14 or 15-year-old girl going to be doing at this retail store? Nothing.
But also, there's a lot of women that like their men jealous. They like that shit.
Right, but where do they get the idea that that's a good thing?
I don't know. I'm going to say this to end this great episode. For the ladies, I've been saying this last 2 episodes already. A lot of this stuff, yeah, guys, do it to yourself. You take the person back, and then you want to be, like Neek said, you want to be the super detective. You took them back. What the fuck are you, why are you stressing yourself out? Mm-hmm. Now, for those ladies that are doing it beforehand, before they even find out anything, that's even worse. Because it's just like, you're wasting so much energy, ladies.
And you know what they say, if you looking, you're going to find something.
Yeah, you're always going to find something. I can find something. Any chick can find something they really want to. Any guy can find something if he really look. All it takes is a picture or an old message from like a year ago. Bitch, got you,
gotcha.
But it's just my whole thing is, for me personally, being on that side and being somebody that was a jealous dude, to waste all that energy, I look back and I wish I could take it back, because of more than anything, I just felt like so weak just thinking about that old me. Like, damn, I really was like that much of a pussy that like I really like. It was embarrassing. Like, I want to just want to erase that shit out of my memory, because it's just like, I pride myself in not, like, now that the man I am, that nobody can ever break down my confidence. And that, like, you know, to look back at that past and seeing my confidence being broken down over my own stupidity and my own insanity is a whole different story. Now, fellas, this shit is getting old. And our jealousy gets so dangerous, man. Like, you know, I've seen dudes try to kill themselves over jealousy. I've seen dudes get killed over jealousy. I've seen dudes go to jail over jealousy. And they always say the same shit. They're like, damn, man, I don't know why I act like that. I'm going to tell you why. Because you don't feel secure in your manhood. Mm. If you feel secure in your manhood, you're not going to be jealous of anything. Because you're going to think like me. You're going to be like, fuck her, she leave. Oh, well, on to the next one. Because there will be a next one. There always will be a next one. Some of y'all act like y'all never going to get pussy ever again. Or worse, that you think everything that you touch just belongs to you. Mm-hmm. All things are wrong. And, you know, that I never known a chick to ever like a toxic, jealous dude. I mean, it's gotta stop. And like Neek said, it affects the kids. Kids think it's okay. Mm. It's not okay. It's not okay to be that level of jealous. It's okay. Some jealousy is allowed. Let's not get it twisted, because, you know, jealousy, from what I've read psychologically, really just boils down to, it's almost like how you will feel like if somebody plays with your favorite toy. That's yours. That's what you cherish. So, you know, if you feel like another girl's trying to talk to your man, or, you know, some girl's looking at your man a little too long, and you snap a quick stare, or you like look at her like what you looking at, that's not jealousy. That's love. Mm-hmm. It's protecting your territory. That's different. Jealousy is breaking somebody down because you feel bad about yourself. Jealousy is losing your mind wondering what they're doing because you're guilty of your own stuff. Jealousy is physically abusing somebody because of these images that you're creating in your own fucking head that's not even real. You're creating them in your own fucking head because of your own insecurities. Shit corny. But I'm glad so many of y'all do it, because you make it so easy for guys like us to be separated from the crowd. I'm gonna keep saying it. It's just like so easy to just be a regular dude nowadays, because there's just so much fake shit. Like, it's so toxic, man. Mm-hmm. And all it does is leads you down to a road you can't come back. And if you really love that girl, If you really love that girl, then being jealous and doing all that shit, you will cut it out because you guaranteed to lose her.
That's so deep. There is no coming back from that.
And with that, y'all all have a good night or a good morning. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And as always, you can go to www.bluntzcoffeetea.com and show your support by just following us on Twitter and Instagram. And with that, I'll let Neek take us out of here.
All right. Once again, thanks for listening and vibing with Bluntz Coffee and Tea, a Loso podcast. Go ahead and make sure to subscribe and visit www.bluntzcoffeetea.com with no and to download all the episodes and to follow Loso and the crew on social media. You can catch us every Friday morning, and for our brothers and sisters behind bars, it'll take a little longer, but we'll be here on JPay every other Friday. And for our loyal listeners with a lot of opinions and suggestions for the show, make sure you email us at suggestions@bluntzcoffeetea.com. Bye, y'all.